Okay, quick story that has me literally shaking right now. So for context, I drive trucks and I stop at this Denny's to grab a coffee because I'm addicted to caffeine. I went in there to get my coffee to go and then I walked to the bathroom, but as I'm walking to the bathroom, it's this old guy sitting to the left with about 12 people that's celebrating his 89th birthday. I got a call from my dispatcher and he was like, yo, you can chill, no rush, they're not ready for the freight, so you can relax a little bit. Sat down, ordered some food, so now I'm sitting like across from the guy that's celebrating his birthday. Time goes by, I'm down there at the end of my meal and everybody that basically came to celebrate with him had left, so now it's just him and his wife. So as I get up to go wash my hands, I see him and I give him a smile. I'm like, happy birthday, young man, 89. That's a lot of memory to have. Here's the thing, I don't even know why I said that. He could have had Alzheimer's. I'm not even sure what I meant by that. Like, but that's what I said. And he said, well, thank you, young man. And he smiled and he kind of just stared at me and I just walked back there and washed my fucking hands. So I come back and his wife is gone. She's talking to some other lady that goes to the same church they do. And he sees me, he says, come here, come here, come here. And I said, yes. And he said, there are way too many things that I wish I could forget. And I said, yeah, man, you make it to damn near 100 years old. I'm pretty sure you got a handful of regrets. And he looked at me with the most serious look ever and said, you have no idea. Well, now I'm curious. Do tell. He said, you know, I used to be a firefighter through the 60s and 70s. I said, that's what's up. That's a very commendable job. And he said, yeah, it should be. He said the 60s and 70s was a different time in every way possible. You know that, right? And I'm just like, yeah, no shit. He said, back in those times, I was a way different man, and who knew that we'd get to the point where we are in society today, and I'd be feeling the way I'm feeling about the decisions that I made back in those times. So I'm like, man, if you won't fucking tell me, bro. So right before he took a very long pause, he looked at me and said, back in those times, it was very common for firefighters that looked like me to leave people that looked like you in burning houses and buildings and horrible situations just to say they couldn't get to us. He said more times than he'd like to admit, he would hear screaming black people and children in burning buildings and houses and apartments and stores and cars, and he would literally just pretend he didn't hear it. He said his last time doing it was when he made eye contact with the baby that he deliberately went into a building to save and deliberately didn't. And he said that was the last time he did it and he quit that year. He said the nightmare still hasn't stopped. He still hasn't forgiven himself, and therapy helps, but it's still a living nightmare to have those memories. And I guess that shit just shocked me so much because when it came to firefighters, I never thought of them like that. Like when it came to like police officers, lawyers, and judges, and everybody else, we knew they didn't give a fuck. Especially police officers, we knew they didn't give a fuck about us. But I don't know why that didn't click to me that no, it was everybody that hated us.
Yes.
Everybody. Everybody had a hand in deliberately making our lives worse. When I calmed down from being mad enough to want to pull the plug on his ass, I thought about it. I thought about it and I was like, of course they did this. Of course. Of course they did this shit. Duh. Like, why was I even shocked? Like, of course. But it is something that I cannot think about for too long because that visual of you fake going to save somebody and not saving them because of the color of their skin and the entire 911 understanding because oh yeah, you couldn't get Jamal. Oh well, just another one gone. Like that shit. I don't know.
Man, that couldn't have been posted at a more perfect time because it definitely explains my point.
All right.
Now, that young man right there, he drives 18 wheeler, all right? And he has only heard stories of hangings and different things that have gone through the decades. I can tell people we did sharecropping when they finally allowed a black man to do something. We did sharecropping, and a black man never got out of debt. He never reap the benefit of his sharecropping. The white man would take his stuff and overcharge him, and the black man never got. We constantly, for decades after decade after decade, it was a new thing. And when we got rights, they made sure we didn't enjoy them. It was a constant thing, and it's just like with the Palestinians. That's the hate and the hurt that they carry, and that's why they did what they did. That's why Hamas did what they did because of stuff like that. That I'm telling you, Malik, that was a perfect video. Perfect ending video for that doggone segment, man.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I thought it would be though. That tied the bow up.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Yeah, that man, alive, man. I wish. Do you still have that video? Like, is it TikTok or what? Where do you find that?
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me on my phone. I gotta send that out. You know, I get the. You know, this is why I say black people. Look, we owe it to the people who suffered in those fires. If you can become a firefighter, you can become a police officer. We owe it to those people to succeed because they couldn't. The things that were done to them